Passive voice in questions and negatives. Forming passive voice questions. Hello and welcome to our English language learning video series. In today's lesson, we will be diving into the fascinating world of the passive voice. Specifically, we'll be focusing on forming passive voice questions. So, let's get started. Before we delve into the formation of passive voice questions, let's briefly recap what the passive voice is. The passive voice is used when the subject of a sentence is acted upon, rather than performing the action itself. It helps us shift the focus of a sentence from the doer of the action to the receiver of the action. Now, when it comes to forming passive voice questions, we follow a specific structure. In active voice questions, the subject comes before the verb, but in passive voice questions, the verb comes before the subject. Let's take a look at an example to illustrate this. Active voice: does he repair the car? Passive voice: is the car repaired by him? Notice how the verb, repair, comes before the subject, the car, in the passive voice question. This inversion is a key characteristic of passive voice questions. To form passive voice questions, we typically use the auxiliary verb, be, followed by the main verb in its past participle form. The auxiliary verb should agree with the tense of the main verb in the sentence. Here are some examples. Present simple. Active voice: does she clean the house? Passive voice: is the house cleaned by her? Past simple. Active voice: did they fix the problem? Passive voice: was the problem fixed by them? Present continuous. Active voice: is he painting the picture? Passive voice: is the picture being painted by him? Past continuous. Active voice: were they building the bridge? Passive voice: was the bridge being built by them? Future simple. Active voice: will she bake the cake? Passive voice: will the cake be baked by her? Remember, the auxiliary verb, be, should be conjugated according to the subject and tense of the sentence. The main verb is always used in its past participle form. Now that we know how to form passive voice questions, let's explore some ways to ask them. We can use various question words like what, where, when, why, how, and who in passive voice questions. Here are a few examples. Active voice: who discovered electricity? Passive voice: by whom was electricity discovered? Active voice: where did they find the treasure? Passive voice: where was the treasure found by them? By using question words, we can form passive voice questions that inquire about the receiver of the action rather than the doer. Congratulations on completing this lesson on forming passive voice questions. We've covered the structure of passive voice questions, including the inversion of subject and verb, as well as the use of auxiliary verbs and past participles. Remember to practice forming passive voice questions in different tenses and with various question words to improve your skills. We hope you found this video helpful in your journey to master the English language. Stay tuned for more exciting lessons in our English language learning series. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.